And that whilst your purpose
that you've signed up to
changes, your
and we share together
changes from
is
time
to
time.
be your best in all you do.
And greatness can only be measured by the difference between before you showed up and after you showed up. If I look at the number of people whose lives have been transformed by your voice, that's how we measure your greatness.
Clarity of purpose. We already talked about the fact that it's the decade of the visionary. It's the decade of the visionary. And what that means is, even if you feel like a late comer to the game, whether you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, or you feel like you've done so much work and it's never really been recognized or appreciated, or you feel like you're new of the knowledge economy, I want you to know that you are in the decade of the visionary. And as you become a faithful steward of the gifts and the endowments you've received from God, He's going to promote you and put you in the forefront of the place you've been sent, and you will do great work. It will count. There will be light shining on your path. You're going to be accelerated. I'm telling you, there's a mystery here. I want you to hear me, because it's a true prophetic word, and I'm happy to operate that dimension because I've been given permission to. The secret here is that the moment you crack this revelatory understanding of the fact that purpose should be the propeller of pursuit, purpose must be the propeller of your pursuit. The moment you get that memo and you start to operate on purpose for purpose, God is going to accelerate you. That's the word we've received, that even those who feel like late comers to the game, hear me, I speak unequivocally, because it is what we have received clearly. If you start to steward your purpose, your gifts on purpose for purpose, and you start to use purpose as a propeller for your pursuits, meaning you don't do anything to prove a point, you do everything to serve the mandate on your life so you can impact this generation, you will become accelerated. It's real, it's powerful. If you feel like I just stepped here, they're seniors, they're early comers, those who arrived before light on your path by himself. I'm telling you, I've seen this happen to me, seen this happen to my clients, because there's a PR system in heaven. There's a heavenly public relations system. There's angelic publicity. There's divine media. You'll be accelerated. You'll be promoted. He's going to give you your platform, and you will run on the wings of the Spirit. It's going to happen, but you have to have the right intentions, the right motive, and you start to see these things happening, okay? And that's why I thought to mention again that indeed it is the decade of the visionaries, right? It's a decade of the visionary. And I've got these two beautiful quotes that I thought I could share with you today. We've got this one by Mastin Keep in his book, Claim Your Power. And it really says something so good. Discovering your purpose is the most significant thing you will do with your life or in your life. And you, your loved ones, and the world will be better off because you went on this journey. And that's so beautiful. Garrett Graveson of the 10 Seconds of Insane Courage says, everyone is born for a purpose, and we want our lives to matter. I don't think it's unique to only some of us. It's a longing of every human being. And this is true. I tell you what, you are here because of that desire for your life to matter. And I want to introduce you to the secret that makes our life matter. What makes our life matter is the desire to make the life of others matter. Everybody has that burning desire, and people have this longing. It's God who put it in us, not just to settle, not just to be average, not just to live a life without meaning, right? But people go about it in selfish ways. Don't make Speak for Gold a selfish venture. Don't do that. I love it. Dr. Noya Edeki says that desire, the desire that is called great faith. I love it. Yes. He's put in every one of us. And this is what creates dissatisfaction. Some of you are here, you're feeling this dissatisfaction. And you've got to convert that dissatisfaction as a fuel to do something meaningful, because dissatisfaction is often a propelling force that God put in your life to force you to go on the journey in the pursuit of destiny. But the way to make your life count is to make it count for others. This thing works. I wonder why many more people don't do it. It's too powerful. It's too powerful. The moment you make your life count for others, you are going to step into an elite league of those that God can come back to again and again. Let me tell you why Speak for Gold is talking first about a higher gold called wealth than the lower gold called money. Ask FD. Speak for Gold is speaking to the capacity to speak into the higher gold of wealth before the lower gold called money. Wealth is powerful, is limitless. There are 7 forms, and the lowest form is actually money. Money is the lowest form. So I'm going to throw this out there. If while you are pursuing the desire to create a change and make your life count for somebody else, you want to use your speaking gift, but you are the people you want to serve right now are not able to pay you, don't make money the priority, because if you start to amass other kinds of wealth, such as authority wealth, announcement wealth, people wealth, transformational wealth, money is going to come to you. Don't fixate on money because it's a lower form of wealth. And that's a whole different conversation. Okay, right? So you create value. I love how Tonya says it here. Create value and wealth comes, and then money follows. That's why we're all here. We're gravitating toward FD and this powerful vision because FD is wealthy in more dimensions of wealth, more than money. And that's what God has put on you, and you have a responsibility to steward it. I love this quote so very much. Okay? And I've said here what I genuinely believe and live by. The power to change the world lies within the capacity to sell a preferred reality, influence a way of thinking, and mobilize others in a new direction. I love this. I say it a lot. I truly believe in it. And yeah, I've shared it for many years that the power to change the world is very connected to your capacity, your refined ability to sell a preferred reality to others. How is music currently, or entertainment, how is it currently the most significant type of influence on our generation? How does it have so much power? It's because it sells belief systems and it creates the imagery of larger than life. You see, it creates an alternative reality in the minds of people, and people become so indoctrinated into those value systems, right? And so if you've been given the gift of speaking, I tell you without equivocation, you have the power to change the world if you know how to use it well. Dr. Chi, I love this. Solve problems, be a solution provider. Wealth comes, prosperity comes. Who you are? What problem are you solving? So good. I love it. So beautiful. Okay, that's the power to change the world. I need to run along, but I must read this quote to you. I read it everywhere I go. My students are sort of tired of me, and I want to read it to you as well. So let me make an attempt. I'm trying to close out my screen so that I can see it and read it to you. Okay, fantastic. Buckminster Fuller, you have to go Google this guy. Is one of the most phenomenal humans that ever walked the face of this earth. He said, I'm confident that only one thing is important. I'm confident that the only one thing important about me is that I am an average healthy human. I am also a living case history of a thoroughly documented half-century search and research project designed to discover what, if anything, an unknown moneyless individual might be able to effectively, on behalf of all humanity, do that could not be accomplished by great nations, great religions, or private enterprise, no matter how rich or powerfully armed. And I know that this is quite a long quote, but the gist at the center of what he's saying, he's like, you know, Buckminster was like, look, I'm not that important. I'm not that powerful. I'm just an average healthy human being. And I allowed my life to become a living case history of a thoroughly documented search and research project designed to discover what an unknown moneyless individual might be able to effectively do on the behalf of all humanity that couldn't be accomplished by great nations, great religions, private enterprises. And what's the gist here? The moment you have a mission, you don't need permission. The moment you see a problem in the world, if you set your heart to it and you have a conviction to make the world a better place for others, you're going to come into this limitless zone of power. Today, do you know that just because of my desire to help women find themselves and express their vision and manifest their possibilities and fulfill their purpose, because of just that burden and that desire, which rested greatly upon me while I was in Geneva, right? Getting schooled by presidents on how to create policies and all of that in 2014, sat in my hotel room, pregnant with my second baby, and this burden wouldn't leave me. And I'm like, what am I going to do? How am I going to push out this message that you are possible and you don't have to be held back? Between 2014 and now, I've written 20 books, raising 3 young children between ages 8 and 3. 20 books. I've grown a coaching business that now reaches 52,000 people. We've got a 52,000 member community in 99 countries, right? I pastor a church. I run a ministry. I lead a revival movement. And I also sit, on committees for Nigeria and 4 other African countries, consulting on public policy. I've gotten paid in several currencies that I didn't even know existed. Just because of that burden and that desire. Small me. I'm in my mid-30s, right? Small me, but just a burden that I responded to. And I didn't feel too little, too hindered to create that change. I'm building a school in the north. That one, it feels like my biggest accomplishment. I've always carried that desire. Earning enough to create the change for missionaries and kids of missionaries, where my burden has always been. Next, when we finish this, we're going to build a hospital this year. Guys, I love it. I love it. I'm not trying to prove any point to anybody. I just want to impact my generation. I want to leave a legacy of hope and compassion for those coming behind. I don't even care if I get known for it. I've left those things behind, and I'm thankful I have. I just want to die empty. The moment we release ourselves for this work, let me tell you what happened to me last year. By the way, I'm opening up this very week an accelerator that is MBA grade. I can't believe that I built an MBA grade year-long program from scratch, birding again, just birding. But what happened to me last year? I wrote 3 books, and each of these books were written in 3 weeks. The largest is 400 pages plus, and I wrote it in 3 weeks. What I discovered really, and I'm definitely going to leave you with that. The moment you are pressed with a burden to see something change, there's going to be heaven kissing earth. Divine supernatural enablement is going to rest on you, and you'll be unstoppable. You deserve to be unstoppable because it's on your inside. It's hardwired into your DNA to be unstoppable, but it comes from a place of a clear purpose to which you completely yield yourself. And you're going to hear from Dr. Sam Ekunda. You're going to hear the kind of things he's doing. Similar story, right? Just because of this burden to create change. I'm going to be leaving you with my purpose clarity map. It's always just a simplified way I get on that conversation around what you should be thinking about, questions you should be asking. And I'm going to share this document when I'm done, so you take your time, look through it, and build out your own worksheet from it, just so that you're going through each of those questions and you're sitting with your private journal, just answering them. The moment you start to do that, more answers are going to open up in your heart, and you're going to get the results that you need to really sit into a greater sense of clarity about your purpose, your assignment, who you are, what you're born for, what you should be doing, how you should be doing it. I'm also going to share 3 books with you. I want you to just make a note of that. I'm sure Simi will put in the comment section for us that will also support this process. Dr. Sam Ekundayo has a book on purpose. I think is a must read. It's the first book I'd love to share with you tonight. And he can give us full details about how we can get it, but I know it's on Amazon. I want you to get his book on purpose. He really answers the purpose questions and really helps you get into a great degree of clarity. The second book I really want you to get onto is called Believe Bigger by Marshawn Evans. You have to read that book if you're crazy about creating transformation from a place of power, personal power, who you are and how you've been gifted in the world. You want to get that book. So Dr. Sam, please help us type out the full title of your book on purpose. Get Believe Bigger. And maybe I should just put that in the chats. Believe Bigger by Marshawn Evans is a book I want you to read. I also want you to read Hello Tomorrow by Dr. Cindy Trim, who is my personal mentor. And you're definitely going to be so greatly blessed by these books. So we're waiting for fantastic Purpose in Crisis, Uncommon Secrets to Finding and Fulfilling Purpose in the Times of Adversity by Dr. Sam Ekundayo. These are books that I heartily recommend. I believe they will help you. So on to my simple purpose map for you today. I want to show you 7 things that you simply want to think around, and they will be powerful to help you ask the questions that deepen your clarity about purpose as you prepare to begin to speak for gold. And don't forget, we're speaking for gold, the gold of wealth, more and before the gold of money, okay? So you've got here these 7 things that always will draw you into alignment and congruence and be around the picture for how you should be thinking about your purpose and the clarity you require. Number 1, your pain. Number 2, your prototype. Number 3, your people. Number 4, possibility. Number 5, posterity. Number 6, promise. Number 7, precept. And I'm going to run you through all of this in the next few minutes before I hand over back to FD. Okay, pain, prototype, people, possibility, posterity, promise, and precept. You've got to be asking questions around these 7 pillars that offer you clarity about your purpose, about who you are, what you've been gifted, how you can serve the world. And then from that point of purpose, you begin to craft your message, reach your audience in serving your unique purpose, okay? Let me know how you're feeling up until now. Give me one word that describes this conversation for you. Let me know. Before we go ahead, let me know one word that describes this conversation. Empowered, good, blown, okay? Or so good, mind-blowing, shift, I love it. Inspired, impactful, so good. Give it to me, clarity, beautiful, I love it. Empowered, awake or sleeper, I love it. That's so good. Awesome, Chinelo says, give it to me. What describes this session for you? This moment, explosive. You know it's the energy mama. So she's going to give it to me that way. Arise and shine. Wow. Inspired. Ready. Flabbergasted. Okay. Revelational. Inspirational. Truth. Awaken the giants in me. Energy giving. Empowering. So good. I love it. I love being here with you. Provoking. It's a shift for me. Well done. And thank you for the feedback. Gift says die empty. Eden says rekindled. I love it so much. Okay, so these are 7 things that I always use, and the purpose clarity mind is completely mine, but I'm happy to share with you. Use it, talk about it in your sessions, use it with even your children. You'll be amazed the kind of questions that will come out of it. Okay, Tosin says deep, Eudora says provoking, Josiah says powerful. Thank you so much for the feedback. So for pen, you start to ask yourself this question. The journey to purpose, the journey to unveiling purpose, discovering what you're here for, the mandate over you is always 100% of the time connected to pain, whether it's yours, that which you witnessed about someone you love, or just the burden you carry for a problem in society. So this is where you begin to ask yourself, what personal pain have I faced that could become a tool for transforming my community, my country, my continent? What problems in society tug at my heart for which I carry a solution? This is an extremely important part of how you unveil a life of purpose. You know why? A life of purpose is not about you. A life of purpose is not a selfish life. A life of purpose is not about meeting your own needs. And that's why we've cleared that one. We're not in Speak for Gold so that we can have a bio and we can put the certificate up on LinkedIn and we can charge others. Those things will happen, but it's important for you to know that a life of purpose is not about you. If you want to press into a life of purpose, this is the first big question you must answer. How can I convert my pain to purpose? How can I convert the crisis, the challenges I faced? There's Bemileke there. God has blessed you with an unusual, opportunity to steward the gift of raising a new child, going through that pain, going through that, challenge, going through that pressure that comes with it, right? Learning some lessons you couldn't have learned any other way, and then stewarding that gift because of the strength that is going to be born out of your spirit. And my heart was just burning within me. That's a powerful man there. That's a powerful, and there's no stopping you in terms of how you're going to be a blessing to the world. What personal pain have I faced that could, I tell you what, you would think that it almost sounds funny. It took me a while before I figured one of my greatest pains, right? And it doesn't have to be, the regular challenges that people face. And I don't want to name a pain as greater than another, but there are some things that when people say immediately jumps out at you like, oh, wow, that was a really painful experience. But you've got to look deeper and you will find the things that burdened you or that challenged you, whether with your marriage, your youth, your life, whatever, and how you can steward that. One of the greatest pains that I faced growing up, let's say actively from university, was that my strong was made to be wrong. I don't know if you get that. I was constantly opposed as being too strong, being too opinionated. So they made strong look wrong, right? But it was the strength that I had that God had really given me to make a change in the world. And so as I started to really own my own voice and become more of who God called me to be, I started to become a voice for naturally strong women. Eden says, this is my story and my song. I'm glad my sisters can relate. And I started to help them navigate their strength in a way that it doesn't harm others. It doesn't make others uncomfortable, even though you can't completely control that, and channel that energy for purpose. That was a big pain I faced all through school. I was criticized for just being smart and, knowing what I wanted to do. And, my own was too much. I tell you what, and they try to silence you. You try to almost take on a different personality, and it could still be happening till date, right? And that's at the heart of the work I now do. Helping either strong women or silenced strong women gain their voice again. And it's a joy when they begin to blossom and they now find a balance, right, between their strengths and how they can serve the world. So you've got to know that. And it could be a problem in society. I also carry a big burden for beggar children. It burdens me a lot. And I'm working currently with, Lagos State government on the policy formulation side of things to fix this crisis because it burdens me. So this is an important question you've got to ask. Some of you, it's your marriage that has stressed you out. Some of you, is your waiting season that has stressed you out. Whatever it has been, you've got to find a way to say, how can this personal pain become a tool for transforming community? In answering that question, you actually really begin to find your purpose many times, so many times. On we go now to prototype. And I love this one so much. Actually, I've got friends who call me the queen of prototypes. Like, I hate stereotypes. I believe it's a disservice to God for you to love someone so much, you now try to be like them. No. Inspiration is great, but never convert the object of your inspiration to become your aspiration. Don't aspire to be the person who inspires you. Be inspired by them to become more of yourself. And I like the whole rhyme and rhythm I'm dropping there. Don't make your inspiration your aspiration. Oshe. Don't make it idolatry. I love it, Dr. Nona. Exactly. Iconize, don't idolize. Boom. Eden, I love it. So good. Right? This one is important. Any person who is going to pivot into a life of purpose must sit into their personal power. You must sit into your prototype. You've got to answer those questions. Who am I at my core? How can I leverage the knowledge of my powerful identity, my unique gifts, my natural excellence, my endowments to change the world and help others? Guess what? Let's talk about it. Even with this Speak for Gold, we're all here learning to steward and leverage our speaking gift, but we speak differently. You know that. Even after this program that unifies us in knowledge and tools and expertise, we're still going to go away and we're going to speak like ourselves. Let me tell you something I struggled with for a long time. As I started to speak on school with not being a clown, because I clown around a lot. It's my prototype. It's my speaking prototype. I use humor, I use connection, I use love and respect, compassion, engagement. But then I started speaking, World Economic Forum, United Nations, Mandela, Washington, all of that. And then you just have to stand there and be like, it's my distinguished privilege to join you at this auspicious epoch-making occasion in the presence of world leaders and presidents. And hi, I would be like, this is tiresome. But I found my mojo. Again, one of my most popular speeches that went viral was a presentation I made at the Washington Summit, in Washington, D.C. 3 years ago. And what I did was I took the analogy of fish frying and I used it to talk about how young African leaders can change the continent. And it became unforgettable. I could have stood there and just be like, Africa needs you. The future depends on change makers like you. Do you understand this? So here's the deal. Find your prototype. Your prototype often unveils a message about your purpose. So you have to take assessments. And I want to recommend a few assessments. I'm going to type it in here again for you that I want to hard encourage you to take. I want you to take the DISC profile. I want you to take what is called the Personal Archetype Test by Keris Mooney, one of my friends in the US. I also would love you to take Clifton's Strength Finder. I want you to take each of this. They will really help you. The second one is my current favorite, and it's surprisingly free. Like, go set her out. It's going to blow your mind what you're going to discover. Do it this night. Then do Clifton's Finder second. You can try out DRSC Profiling by Tony Robbins, because that one is free. You can start with that. But I want to encourage you to invest in unveiling yourself using assessments. On the spiritual level, you've got to spend time with God alone. You've got to use the power of solitude and as well as scriptural guidance on who you are. It's really important. God may give you a scripture. I have a scripture that is a prophetic prototype of who I am, and it shapes everything I do, right? It's so important. It's so important. Go be with your God and unveil yourself. He's going to show you. And it's from this prototype, the recognition of your identity, your natural excellence, your gifts, your endowments, what makes you different, right? One of the earliest books that I read as a young person was Why You Act the Way You Do by Tim and Beverly LaHaye. Who remembers? and he taught you about sanguine, choleric, melancholic, phlegmatic, and he helped me really start to navigate my personality type. And I'm already getting my little girl to read it. She says it's boring. I was like, you can put it down. We'll come back, right? When you're 10, we'll come back to read it again, but you have to read it. So that's that about prototype, and I'm just going to run along. Number 3 is people. This one is like your easiest decoder for purpose clarity. I'm telling you. Even if you've not fixed or clarified a lot of these other dimensions of the map, if you start to really understand who you are drawn to and you start to serve that audience, other parts of your purpose will unveil, will begin to open up. How many people can confirm this? You've already caught a sense of the people you are called to serve. And as you start to serve them, exactly, yes, it's so powerful, it's so good. Before I knew many things, I knew I was sent to women. And as I started to write books for them, host events for them, coach them, every other thing started to open up. You've got to answer this. Some of you are drawn to elderly women. Some of you are drawn to married people. Some of you are drawn to young girls, young boys, women, men, people in politics, policy formulators, people in government. Some of you are drawn to people in ministry. Some of you are drawn to pastors' wives. Some of you are drawn to, young babies or little babies, infants. You've got to begin to sense that and begin to note. You will take this back and work on it within your journal. You prayerfully begin to ask these questions. Who am I drawn to? What audience do I feel sent to? Just because I see that, I understand them and I passionately seek to serve them. You begin to ask the question, to which people or segment of society do I sense a calling or an assignment to help them release their full potential or accomplish their goal? Yeah, Bimbola Isafiade says older people in authority. Exactly. It's going to be an important part because you know what? We have the same message, but the way we couch it must reflect the people we've been sent to. Do you understand this? It's also important. So you've got to answer that question, and it's on there in your purpose clarity map. On to possibility, you've got to ask these important questions. What future possibility, higher reality, or preferred outcomes do I want to create in the world and I feel empowered to birth? In what ways do I see myself making life more meaningful for others? This one is important. When we talk about possibility, we're simply saying, what future outcome do you see yourself creating? And I want to put you to the test because this is usually a part, when I take people through the purpose clarity exercise, it's a part of the process that stresses visionaries out a bit, but it just takes thinking through it a little bit. So we're going to do that exercise for those of you who can get on it now. I want you to write for me what the world will look like when you fully start to serve your purpose. Describe the future you see. It can be the future of your community, the future of Nigeria. It can be describing Africa's future, but describe the future of the world, which you see, because you will begin to serve your assignment. As you serve your purpose, what kind of world do you see? Dora says, I see a peaceful world. So I want you to take it to the next level. Describe that world and describe what you will do to create it. A world full of geniuses, because I want to see that way. Give it to me. I see a world and a future that will be, because I will do this, because I will be this to this segment of people, based on what we've covered so far. Can you try on that? The world you see, or the future that will happen because of what you will do for which segment of society. Let me see who is going to give me my answer first. People not dying prematurely due to lack of education and health, because I will bring solutions to them to improve their health. Good try, Tonya, but I want you to clarify the solutions a bit more. So what kind of solution? It could be, research, diagnostic, or excellent healthcare. What would it be? A bit more. I see a relaxed, tension-free world. Rosie, I love it. Why? For which category of people? Okay. Bimleke says, people with disadvantaged backgrounds turning their lives around to become their true selves. I love it. How? What would you do for these people? Vincent says, a world full of technology experts, because I'm building a community to train and help people achieve more. Good job. Okay. Grace says a future of effective leadership as I will improve my communication within my tribe. Okay, decent try. Good job. Dr. Sam says, I see a world of thought leaders making transgenerational impact with their message to the world because I help them find their purpose. Oh, shit, I love it. So good. Love says, people are more aware and speak against domestic violence. We feel more safe, feel more self-worth, and have more net worth as I speak about domestic violence and share my story. I love it. Stella says, a world where parents raise godly children because I teach mothers to be more involved in their children's lives. I love it. Pamela says, I see a world with confident people and professionals empowered to give the best value in delivering the roles and functions, especially women. I love it, but you have not shown me fully what you'll be doing for them. Heal broken women because I will uplift their self-image. Okay, good job. Talatu says, I see a world of strong women because I will help them discover their power by sharing my story. I love it. Good job. Well done. Judith says, an empowered younger generation because I will push for policies that will enable accessible education to disadvantaged children. Good job. Great level of clarity. Well done, everyone. I love it. I'll take two more. Coach Beam says, I see an army of women who know the truth of their genius and purpose, empowered and propelled by the understanding that pain and trauma can be filled to pursue purpose and impact their world, as I set the example of using my story, my coaching, my training. Ma, please come and take me home. I am yours. Just who could be taking me? This is so good. Let me take a final one from Naomi Adedoyi. She says, women will be more respected, a world where women are less abused. Execute policies to empower Black women. The world will start to see women differently, and women will start to see the true creative ability God has gifted them. Well done. Beautiful. Okay, I won't say anything more about this possibility part of it because you get it. You get it. You see it. I love it. On we move to the next level then. Coach Beams, oh yeah, now. See your seats. See, empty is for you. Let's go. Posterity, we'll now talk about what legacy would I leave on earth? What would I be remembered for? While possibility describes that future, posterity describes your role in that future. So this is where you sort of begin to go a bit deeper. It's close to possibility, right? But posterity is where you go deeper. It's where you say, for example, let's say Naomi talked about women being more respected, policies for more women. This is where you now start to talk about the policies you created for what governs, the institutions you built, the people who were transformed, is where you talk numbers. It's like your vision board of the future you. This is where it's under posterity. I usually give the assignment for people to write me their bio in 2035, in 2050. Do you understand this? It's where they begin to actually talk about that transformation as a reality that has happened. And then on to promise, based on the possibility that you see in the world and based on the posterity, i.e. the change you will create, it's important for you to also understand what your core visionary message of hope will be. What's going to be your core message? And this one, I believe you guys are going to give it to me. If you could easily answer the other one on possibility, this is going to be easier. Okay, what's going to be your core promise that will run through as a thread for everything you do and everything you are? What is the promise you are showing the world around you? What's the transformational truth that will become a foundational theme for everything you're going to birth and build? When you start to speak for gold, what would you be saying? Give it to me. Short phrases, or a word. What's the core transformational promise? What's your core message? Naomi says, change has come. Eden says, find yourself. I love it. Find yourself. Owem says, integrity. Bimbola says, integrity. Oh, you guys are rushing me. I love it. Okay, Linda says, rediscover. Rediscover what? I want you to give that to me. Kende says, light to every darkness. Ooh, Nemi, oh my God, got me here. Free from the clutches of the rat race. Olutoyosi says, believe in yourself. Omobala says, it all begins from home. Moyo says, healing and wholeness. Dorcas, I am strong. Shirley, live your best life. Love it. Coach Beam says, break free and flourish freely. Woo! Gbemileke says, you matter. Grace says positivity. Don't you financial literacy, arise and shine. Oluwatoyin says be empowered. Stella says discover what you can do easily. Okay, Linda, you've given it to me. I love it. Rediscover yourself. Tonya says thriving with joy. NK says die empty. Idora says believe and trust. Ojaga says unfettered power. Whoo, you guys are amazing. This is good. This is good. I have to run. Enuka says self-love. I love it. I love it. Arthur says gemstone ambassadors. Wow. He says living relentlessly. This is so good. What a promise. What a promise. If you're writing books, if you're speaking, if you're counseling, if you're in therapy, if you're coaching, if you're teaching, if you're preaching, if you're building, if you're creating policies, your promise can find you. It's so beautiful. Finally, precept. This is where you've got to tie it in. Importantly, knowing what God is saying about the spiritual person, you are going to love this one because it's at the heart of how we become, how we manifest, and how we change our world. You've got to answer the question, what is the calling I've received from my generation and the ones to come? What is my life's mission and mandate? What is the now instruction I'm ready to steward in obedience to the voice of God? This is what comes for you. So if you haven't cracked one retreat and say, Lord, speak to me. What's my now assignment? Don't forget that what makes purpose a timeless journey is how God interjects in time and gives you a now instruction. Your life's full story cannot be told in 1 year or in 2 years. It takes a whole lifetime and more because your story continues in eternity. Imagine you are an eternal being, an extraction from the divine. So it's important for you to walk with God so that he can give you now mandates. If you follow the now mandates, I give you 3 years, you will start to see a line joining. Because if you don't steward this season, you won't qualify for the next. You won't qualify for the next. And that's why it's important to understand the power of seasons. You must get that now mandate. What am I supposed? Some of you came to speak for God because of that burden you're sensing, that God is calling you to awaken that gift and begin to put it to use. Okay? And that's it. That's it. What have we covered? We looked at the 7 things or the 7 pillars on your purpose clarity map: pain, prototype, people, possibility, posterity, promise, and precept. And it has been my joy to serve you this way this evening. You be fabulous. Let your light shine. Be kind. Don't stop dreaming. I am super proud of you. Delighted to be a part of the great things you're doing. I have great, great delight to have served you this evening. I believe I can take maybe 2 or 3 questions, and it has been such a honor. Thank you, FD.